business plan, put everything together, and get off of the ground. The three words I'll tell you is just do it. I mean, just do it. In 2020, there were 12 funded VAPGs in the state of Tennessee. That was 12 out of 13. 15 were submitted. Two of those were ineligible. I submitted three. One of those was ineligible because I made a stupid mistake in it on agricultural production. And so you kind of need to know the rules of the grant program, and what's eligible and what's not eligible, as far as funding, and what percent of that may make up the grant, so that you don't make a mistake. But don't not submit. Don't worry about it, because if you don't get funded, you make a mistake, you can use that same application for a myriad of other things, whether it's the FMPP, the VAPG, the specialty crop, ag enterprise, TAEP, NRCS, the REAP. This recent CAFB program that the state was able to put out with the COVID dollars. One of these applications that you put together for the value added producer grant, whether or not you get funded or not, you'll get feedback on it as the mistakes that you made, or how you could make it a stronger application. That same application, or that same theme, that same plan from A to B, can be used in a myriad of other programs to help you get from here to there. And so, like us, I mean, we have a farm here in Union County, and if you look at 2018, the data from USDA said 7.8 cents of the consumer dollar spent on food went to the farmer. In our county, we only had 11 farms that had a gross income of over $50,000. The average farm income in Union County was less than $5,000. Is the old adage of how to make a small fortune farming is to start out with a great big one. And that's what is if you want to make a living in this business, you're going to have to find out how to capture a little bit more than 7.8 cents out of the consumer dollar. That's just like selling a weaned calf. I mean, you sell that weaned calf $500, $600, $700. Or you can put that hamburger meat in a consumer's belly, and you can make $5,000 off of that same animal. So it's that whole spectrum of adding value. You're going to sell that calf at market. You're going to sell it on a rail to an individual consumer. You're going to have it packaged and sell it as individual cuts, or you're going to sell it through a food facility on your own operation, and in essence capture 100% of the value of that food product. And that's what I would encourage you to do. So, as Hal said, we've been relatively successful over the years in a variety of grant programs. You need help if you're in this business and you're a small producer. You want to get to A to B, and you want to make a living at it. So we have a family farm here. Hal introduced me as an owner of one of these businesses. I'm not. My wife and my daughter and my son are owners of our business, and we originally put in value-added producer planning grants to establish our entities, to get our LLC set up. We're in the final stages of putting the entire farm into a trust, to develop these entities, to get your websites up, to get your logos done, those kinds of things. That's what that planning grant application is for. It will help you do that. When you go to a lawyer and you set these things up, they're relatively expensive, $10,000, $15,000 to make this happen. The biggest mistake that I made early on was being broad and how you look at this. We have two LLCs set up here on the farm. We're getting ready to set the farm up into a trust. We have three individuals that are part of the farm operation here that file Schedule Fs. We have a Producers Association, the Appalachian Region Wine Producers Association, which is a group of about 10 or 12 of us, which is a federal C Corp, but a Tennessee not-for-profit. And we do a variety of things through that Producers Association. So, think about what that end goal is when you're putting your program together, how you can work individually, how you can work as a group, but also understand the variety of programs that are out there and how you can maximize your opportunity. It doesn't do me any good to apply for a grant program because there are no bonus points for me. There are bonus points for young and beginning farmers. There are bonus points for disadvantaged, I think they call it disadvantaged individuals or female. If you're 51% female or majority ownership female as part of the businesses, which both of our LLCs are, then you get bonus points for that. The same thing, is if you contribute dollars to your overall program, you get bonus points. Doesn't say how many dollars. I mean, contribute $100, you get the same bonus points as somebody that contributes $10,000, but just contribute the $100. Veterans have bonus points. If you're in a disadvantaged county, you have bonus points. So when you put your association together, if you have a variety of individuals that you want can work as a group to maximize that stuff, put that together. Parse out your grants. Another big mistake that we made was trying to be too inclusive with some of our early grant applications. Just like with the winery, we put in a grant application to grow the business of the winery. That was a mistake. Put that grant application in to grow a small portion of the business of that winery that is of the same value, that does the exact same thing, but it allows you to go after other dollars as you go forward. Are you doing still wines? Are you doing barrel aged wines? Are you doing sparkling wines? Are you doing port wines? Save those things in your in your folder for subsequent years. Just do small segments at a time that can have that same value, and plan over the long term. Just like VAPG, you can't submit one if you already got one in the basket. We'll have another entity or another operation or another way that you can leverage things that you have going on so that you can submit for multiple opportunities. VAPG doesn't pay for construction. Ag Enterprise Grant pays for construction. If your end goal is to develop the Blackberry Farm, you haven't got a group of investors like they've got over there, or Biltmore or whatnot, to do that. And so you set your entities up so that you can take advantage of a variety of these operations. And so your end goal is to have the winery, you want a venue, you want to have a restaurant in there, you want to take everything that you grow on the farm and turn it into a product that goes on the table for a consumer. Have a chef on the operation or cook your own. Whatever you want that end goal to be, is figure out how you're going to get there from A to Z. Let's say you want to do the chef to table operation. We'll use USDA to get you some high tunnels every year to help you extend your growing season and grow more. TAP for some specialty equipment, specialty crop block grant for different things that you may want. Put all of those things into your business plan to how you may leverage those dollars, those resources to get you from A to B. Like with us, we got two kids, both of them back on the farm. My wife and daughter do the winery. My wife and son do the farm to table. We sell every animal that we raise as a consumer cut out of the store, a little bit of farmers market, a little bit of CSA. Our end goal is to try to put everything that we raise on this farm on the plate, and in the belly of that consumer. So we're capturing $1 instead of 7.8 cents out of that dollar. The other thing I tell you is know the rules. Know where you get those bonus points, veteran farmer, young, cash contribution, funding priorities, those kinds of things. See how you can fall into that because you're graded on a 100-point scale. If you get, I think the state office can give 10. You may get a couple here, 5 there, 6 there. On a 100-point scale, if you can rack up 10, 12, 15, 20 points as bonus points, I mean, you're home free. That makes a huge difference. So my take on it is to use what Pete went over. Excellent presentation. I mean, he's got it laid out. You need to know what the end game is, and you need to make sure that that end game considers all of the expenses and whatnot. I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but our biggest problem has been success. I mean, when we started out with this thing, we thought, well, year 10, we'll be making 5,000 gallons. We'll be doing this, we'll be doing that. I mean, my God, we did at the end of year 1. We're right now in the process of doing a major expansion here at the farm, tripling our production capacity, put us over 10,000 gallons, doing a variety of new products, enhancing how we run the beef operation, looking at ways to save money, and then focusing on the chef's table. How do we take the products that we raise here on the farm and bring that consumer to the farm to give them that experience associated, with that $12 or $14 hamburger plate, and this kinds of things. So they get the full experience, and we're all blessed to be in the state of Tennessee. I mean, I don't know if you folks knew it. Tennessee is the only state east of the Rockies that was in the top 10 of the Forbes state to relocate to. U-Haul just did a study, and Tennessee was the #1 state for turn in of U-Haul vans and trailers. I mean, I mean, my God, in Union County, you can't find a piece of property for sale. There's not a farm for sale. There's nothing out there. People are moving here in droves, and I kind of look at that as opportunity, especially for a county like Union County. Look at what's going on with broadband, a variety of things like that. We're blessed to be in Tennessee. The opportunity for agricultural producers is bright. It's great. It's super. I would encourage you to get involved with the legislative process. Write your legislator and tell them how valuable the Ag Enterprise Fund is, and they need another million. Tell them how valuable TAEP is. They need a couple of more million. Tell them how valuable these programs are to rural farmers and what's happening with rural agriculture. And without a little assistance from the state and the state tax dollars to invest some in agriculture, what's going to happen to us. So those things are extremely important. All of us can get involved and be a part of it. And I would just encourage you to be involved. And I would encourage you to just do it. And I would leave you with kind of my famous 4 words, which is limitations are self-imposed. The only reason that you don't turn in the VAPG application this time around is because you chose not to do that. Well, choose to do it. Get to work on that VAPG application. Chart out that course of how you want to get from here to there. Do you want your farm to survive multiple generations? Do you want to put it into asset protection trust? How do you want to protect yourself from liability? Know the rules and what the laws are, and think outside of the box. I mean, we incorporated in Wyoming for a variety of other reasons. Don't just think that you got to incorporate in Tennessee or you have to set your trust up by the laws in Tennessee. Look out there and see what best suits your needs, and research that. And how do you get from here to there. Another resource I would give you is the Kentucky Center for Agricultural and Rural Development. They have a variety of courses up there. Some of the courses you can take or how to write grants. They have a grant writer on staff. You can make appointments with them and they can help you out. I think they would do it for folks down here in Tennessee. But I subscribe to their email list, and a couple of times a month they tell me what's available out there. May not be specific for Tennessee, but it's specific regionally, whether it's a share grant or VAPG or specialty crop or a variety of those other things. And have your eyes and ears open. In this last stimulus bill that was passed, there was $100 billion put in that stimulus bill for specialty crop block grants. That means that there's going to be quite a bit more money at the state level for those block grants to make that application and to look for things that are applicable to you in that specialty crop arena. And then the same thing for AMS and FNPP and the value added producer grant. There were some dollars that were put in there that may be made available. So, keep your eyes and ears open, look for these things, see how you can leverage opportunities, see how you can work together as a group or put some organization together as a group to help you out. And then, just, just do it. That's what I've got to say. Yeah. Any questions, Hal?
Haven't seen any questions yet.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get some.
Yeah. So ideas, how do you come up with these? Pete's an idea guy. I mean, Pete's absolutely amazing. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. But how do you come up with these ideas? Is go to the Value Added Producer Grant website and look at all of the grants that have been funded for every year for the past 20 years and start scrolling through there and say, oh my God, I can do that. I would love to do that. That's exactly what I want to do. So you're going through there and you find, Billy Bob Farms in Georgia 3 years ago did a grant application for exactly what you want to do. Give them a call. Give them a call, reach out. I mean, we're all good people. I would say that 9 times out of 10, they would be glad to share that grant application or a portion of that grant application with you to give you a start on what you're looking to do. So, just look for those things. If you're not if you're not an idea person, look for other grants that have been funded. Whether it be specialty crop or value added or FNPP or whatever, and reach out to those folks and ask them for a little bit of help. Most of them are very willing to help.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I introduced you earlier as an owner.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just a work. My God, they keep me so busy. I'm getting old. Started Social Security last year, and I don't believe I've ever worked as hard as I've worked. I mean, we're putting 3 buildings up this year: a new warehouse, a new production facility that's larger than our current footprint on the farm. Covered livestock feeding facility, a variety of other things. Unbelievably busy, but the state of Tennessee gave us an unbelievable opportunity with this CAFB funding, and it was kind of the right place at the right time. We're taking maximum advantage of that and trying to expand our operations here to where both kids can make a decent living on the farm, and we can set this thing up so it's good not only for them but for their grandkids and great grandkids.
Well, I really appreciate your taking the time to share with us a little bit about your experiences with this, Rick. It's very helpful to this group, and want to just encourage everybody, if you want to have a one-on-one later this afternoon at the end with David Hughes and Pete Nelson and myself, please text me in the text box. Let me know that you'd like to meet with us, and we're available to do that. If you have a question for Rick and you want to unmute your mic and ask that, or if you want to put it in the text box, now would be a good time to do that. And if we don't have any questions, we're going to take a break until, well, a half-hour break to let folks grab a bite of lunch, and you know, we'll plan to rejoin in about 30 minutes or so. So again, thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate your time with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Al. And everybody that's on this call is taking the first step. I mean, they're interested. They want to learn a little bit more. The next step is just kind of putting pen to paper, um, and taking advantage of that opportunity. I mean, better than pulling a lever on a slot machine out in Vegas. I mean, 12 of 13 funded from the state last year for over 2 million. Pull this lever and go for it.
Yeah, we really want to encourage people to take a close look at this thing, because there are funds out there that are available. Of course, you want to consider whether this is something you really want to do. Talk to some people who have done it. Like Rick said, talk to some people who have gotten one of these value-added producer grants, and pick their brains. While lunch is going on here, I'm going to put up some more videos that are interviews with folks who've gotten this grant before. So, take advantage of the resources that are here. We'd love to see more Tennessee producers have successful value-added enterprises. So, all right, real good. Thank you again, Rick.